Good morning, everyone. For today's lesson, we will be discussing rational numbers, their fractional and decimal forms. So let's start with the fractional representations. A rational number is a number that can be written in the form P over Q. So it's a ratio where P and Q are integers and Q should not be equal to 0. So this is called the fractional form of a rational number. So let's have an examples. Number 1. So 1/2 represents the number or the rational number of 0.5. Another example is 3/4 represents the rational number of 0.75. And then negative 7 over 5 represents the rational number of negative 1.4. So as you can see here, we can represent a fractional into rational number, no? Into decimal places. Now we have the decimal representation. So the decimal representation, rational number can also be represented in decimal form, which is achieved by performing the divisions of the numerator by the denominator. So decimal representations of rational numbers can be either terminating or repeating. So for the terminating decimals, it is a decimal number that has a finite number of digits after the decimal point. Terminating decimals occur when the divisions of the numerator by the denominator results in a remainder of 0 at some point, meaning it will cut the number. No? So the number that we have is a finite number digits after the decimal one. So let's have the example. So 1/2, we will change this one into decimal. So we have 0.5. So because 1 divided 2 is 0.5. So here 0.5 is a terminating decimal because the division ends after 1 decimal places, which is 5. The second one is 3/4, which is equal to 0.75. Here 0.75 is a terminating decimal because the division ends after 2 decimal places, which is 7 and 5. The next one is 7 over 8, so it's equal to 0.875. Here 0.875 is a terminating decimal because the division ends after 3 decimal places. And then the last one is 125 over 1000 is equal to 0.125. Here 0.125 is a terminating decimal because the division ends after 3 decimal places. So these are some examples of the terminating decimal. So let's move to the repeating decimals. So repeating decimals is also known as a recurring decimal. Is a decimal number in which a digit or a group of digits repeats infinitely. Examples. We have 1 over 3 or 1/3. So this 1/3 can be equal to 0.3333. So as you can see, the number 3 here does not end. So 1 over 3 as a decimal is 0.3 var. So the bar here represents a repeating block, no, of the number. So which means the digit 3 repeats infinitely. Another example is 2 over 9, which is equal to 0.2222. So as you can see here, 2 over 9 as a decimal is 0.2 var. So meaning 2 repeats infinitely, which means the digit 2 repeats infinitely. And 5 over 6 is equal to 0.8333. So 5 over 6 as a decimal is 0.83 var. So that, which means the digit 3 repeats infinitely after digit 8. So these are some examples of the repeating decimals. Okay, so another example, 7 over 11 which is equal to 0.6363. So 7 over 11 as a decimal is 0.63 watt. So which means the digit 63 repeats infinitely. And then the last one is 7,606 over 999, which is equal to 7.613. So 7,606 over 999 as a decimal is 7.613 bar, which means the digit 613 repeats infinitely. So as you can see, these are some examples of the repeating decimals. So that's the examples of the decimals or the repeating decimals. So thank you. See you in the next video.